Once a grand and imposing structure, the abandoned asylum had long since fallen into disrepair. Its once white walls were now stained and peeling, and its windows were cracked and broken. For years, the building had sat empty, a silent reminder of a bygone era. But on this particular night, the asylum was anything but silent. As the moon rose high in the sky, a group of teenagers gathered outside the decaying structure, huddled together in nervous excitement. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" whispered Sarah, a petite brunette with a nervous tremble in her voice. "Of course it is," replied Jake, a tall, muscular boy with a cocky grin. "It's just an old building. What's the worst that could happen?" The group exchanged skeptical glances, but none of them were willing to back down. With a collective shrug, they made their way inside the crumbling asylum. As they stepped into the darkened lobby, the musty odor of decay and neglect hit them like a wall. The air was thick with dust, and the sound of their footsteps echoed through the empty halls. As they explored further, the group began to feel an uneasy sense of foreboding. The once elegant rooms were now filled with debris and cobwebs, and strange shadows seemed to lurk in every corner. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream shattered the stillness of the night. The teenagers froze in terror, their hearts pounding in their chests. "Who was that?" gasped Sarah, her voice shaking. "I don't know," said Jake, his bravado slipping away. "But we need to get out of here." As they turned to leave, they found that the door they had entered through was now locked tight. Panic began to set in as they frantically searched for another way out. Just as they were about to give up hope, a faint light appeared in the distance. With renewed energy, they rushed towards it, hoping it was a way out. As they drew closer, they realized that the light was coming from a small room at the end of the hall. As they entered, they found themselves face to face with a ghostly apparition, hovering in the center of the room. The teenagers screamed in terror as the ghostly figure reached out to them, its spectral hands passing right through their bodies. In that moment, they knew that they were trapped in the abandoned asylum forever. And so, the asylum remained a dark and foreboding place, its halls haunted by the restless spirits of those who had once been confined within its walls. And as the years passed, the stories of the asylum's malevolent ghosts only grew more terrifying, warning all who dared to enter its decaying halls to stay far, far away.